A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and skin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone.
Welcome to a very special edition of the Wednesday night Tigercast. It's selection night, but we're doing it a little bit different tonight. We're going to actually have it. We're going to reveal our round 1 2026 starting lineups, which has been an incredibly difficult exercise to do. And I encourage everyone who watches the show to do it. Like, you don't have to do it right now if you're watching, but when you get a spare moment, if you haven't already, definitely have a crack at trying to put together your best 22 for round 1 2026. And it's tricky. There's a lot of names to fit in, and you'll be surprised at the players you leave out yourself and what you have, what doubts you have over certain players. So we'll be able to pick apart all of our sides after, and then at the end, what we're going to do is, for everyone who's still in chat, we're going to just select people at random to pick a player for each position, and you can build your own viewer's side. So we'll do that for a bit of fun at the end. Grok, welcome, mate. How you going?
Yeah, going well. Good to be back. Good to be back. Missed a few shows, but now looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be very, very interesting. Did you have a bit of trouble doing your 22?
I did. I did mine in like 5 minutes, and then I was like, crap, let's go see who else is, on the list that I might have overlooked. And of course, there was a certain player that I in my 23 that's not playing in 2026. So I had to change that yesterday.
Yeah,
or this morning, maybe even on my way to work.
Well. And interestingly, I think 3 of you have a player in from a club that is not with us just yet. I didn't go down that. I nearly did. I may have a late change, but EJ, welcome all the way from Bali. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, Salamat Malam, as they say. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I wish I was still in Bali, but no, the backdrop makes me smile as it is. So, and this should be a lot of fun.
Will be. It'll be very good fun. And we do actually have a 4th tonight. He's just is he in? I think he's here. Hang on, let's see if he's there. Oh, there he is, Mr. Bathrobe himself, CB. Oh no! What is happening? Jesus Christ. How are you, CB?
G'day, boys. How are you?
Going well, thanks yourself.
The unfortunate thing is I actually can't see the comments. So
that's probably not the worst thing, to be honest, at this point. Yes. There's a lot of no's.
Viewers plummeting.
Yeah. We'll have to clip that and put it out somewhere. That was a good intro.
Did the music come through?
It did.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't get copyrighted, but it did. It did. How you been, CB?
We're going okay. So been fairly busy the last couple of weeks, and in a motel room in Melbourne currently. So got another day of training tomorrow. They're trying to train a thing that can't be trained, I guess. So we'll see how we go. But
very good.
Apart from that, everything's going okay, lads. And I do apologise for not being available the last couple of shows. But we should be right moving forward. Good to see everyone.
No, that's all right. So I'm laughing just at the comments.
Skadoosh should have gone to Specsavers.
Yes, Scooter said it was hot.
Oh no, it wasn't.
People are asking for the baby oil as well. Jeez, it's all happening.
No, not a Diddy party. Not a Diddy party.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I think what we'll start with first, because the secondary part of this was we were going to put together a list of some players that are maybe on the chopping block for this year. So we'll do that first because it kind of goes hand in hand with the team selection side of things for next year. There's no flashy reveal of, well, except for CB, with all that. So you'll see a table with just all the names on it, and we'll just step through it. Tiggs was one short. I was almost one short as well. And look, I think it's fair to say, yeah.
So I sort of put the number at 6 because we generally do make a few changes. You're only forced to make 3 changes to your list.
Yeah. So a lot of these may not eventuate, and these are just, and this, it's really hard because, like, I don't want this to seem like we're trying to boot people out the club, but the reality is that at the end of every season, lists have to make change. And as you said, EJ, 3 is the minimum, but you challenged us to pick 6. So we all jumped on board and said challenge accepted. So we'll go through. I'll go through Tiggs's first because he sent through his list. So we had Kalina, he had Jaden Short as a trade, which was one that none of us we didn't have. Dion Prestia as a retirement, Dow as a delisting, and Sonzi as a delisting / trade. EJ, do you want to go through your list and some rationales behind the names you've got there that might be on the chopping block?
Yeah, Marte Kalina has had enough time and will delist. The great K-Mac, and what an honour it was to beat his 200th a couple of weeks ago, to retire. Taken Bauer to be delisted. Sonzi to be traded for a late pick, and Tyler Young to be traded for a late pick. And Blight, a WA boy, to go home to help facilitate a trade with the West Coast Eagles.
Well, I mean, the Tyler Young one's interesting.
Yeah,
I know we've got a shitload of key defenders.
Yeah, he's just got too many ahead of the pack, and his knee injury came at the wrong time. I mean, you know, we've still got Kaczynski there who's under contract. We've got Gibcus to come back. So there's a bit of a traffic jam, and it's probably an unfortunate circumstance more than anything. It was very close between him and Fawcett, but I think that Fawcett being younger and us giving him maybe a little bit more time for us to look at him, as much as I think he's probably in danger, but I think Tyler being a bit older will either get traded to a team that needs depth or be delisted.
Now, I will just bring this one up quickly, Brady. The reason why there's no Samson Ryan is because he's contracted for another 2 years or 3 years. It's also the same reason why there's no Jacob Kaczynski, because he's also contracted for next year. So we will not be delisting those players whilst under contract, I wouldn't have thought. Grok, take us through your list.
Yeah, so first up, I've got Sonzi. I think his body language at VFL level has shown that he's probably been told that he's probably not getting extended next year. I think he's on the chopping block. We've seen Thompson Dow's development. We've seen, McAuliffe's development. We've got Smiley. We've got Lawler, Houghton, who can go through there. So I don't think there's a place for Sonzi in our best 25-26. And given he's been on the list for a fair few years now, I think time will be called on him. Kalina with obviously Ryan still contracted till the end of 2027. We've got Sims and we've got Hayes Brown, plus Cozzy, who can go through the ruck as well. I just think the experiment's done in that regard. Bauer and Fawcett are probably the two in the same boat. I think Bauer gets delisted. And Fawcett gets traded probably to Port. I reckon they need some more forwards coming through for a late pick that we can use on one of the father-sons or academy picks next year. But they're just victims of our drafting last year, obviously, with the 3 talls. I just think, at this point, Bauer's probably done in that regard. And Fawcett, I think he's just a victim of circumstance. He's young, he's been injured, but if Port comes along with their second rounder for him, which is probably going to be, in the 40s, we'd take it for just purely for points. And McIntosh is just a retirement. I think at the end of the year, I think that'll be him done, which sucks. I would like to keep him on next year, just purely culture-wise and just, as a mentor. But I think the time's right for Macca to pull the pin.
CB?
Yeah, look, mate, Kalina, I think I've made it clear my thoughts on him over the journey. Unfortunately, look, I hope Dion goes out on top. So I've got Dion retiring. Camden McIntosh, and again, Dion, wonderful servant to the club. Camden McIntosh, fantastic servant of the club. I think he'll retire as well. Jacob Bauer, as has been discussed, I think he's a victim of circumstance now. We've got these young blokes coming, and we've seen a bit of what they're about. Tyler Sonsie, for reasons, I think there are people ahead of him now in the queue. And Liam Fawcett, it's funny, EJ stitched me a bit because I did this list, I'd say 6-7 weeks ago. And then during the course today, everyone's going, where's your list? I said, look, you got it. And I actually had a change. I actually had Tyler Young instead of Liam Fawcett in my revised list. But then EJ said, no, I found your original list, and he went with it. So maybe Liam Fawcett to be traded, probably should have traded in there, possibly to another club that could do with a young, tall coming through. It's probably where it sits for me.
Travis Frost says it's not working on Facebook.
It's just a YouTube one tonight. So the Facebook, the draw one's on the Monday night.
Okay.
And
cool.
So my one, Tyler Sonsie, I just think it's one of those. If we're not going to play him in the spot that he probably should be playing in, he's probably going to seek the chance to go and do so elsewhere, and he can't be blamed for that. Jacob Blight, same thing. Just I don't know why we're not playing him currently. There's obviously the WA pull as well. That could be about the Harley Reed factor, maybe from our perspective. So I feel like he might ask for a trade too, potentially, if he's not getting games. Bauer, I think he could ask for a trade or be delisted. And like you guys said, it's a victim of circumstance. Just falling behind those who have come in. Kalina, I mean, we've got obviously Hayes Brown. Sims is going to be developing, so I just don't know if there's room for him, unfortunately. Camden, I agree with you guys. I feel like it could be the last hurrah. I guess the problem now we've got Luke Traynor on a wing that he's kind of trying to make that his spot as well. We've got Hugo on the other side. Banks can obviously play that role as well. And you've got Presti back. You've got Smiley, Lawler to come back in. So it kind of negates his need to be in the midfield now. So there's almost just by default no spot. And Liam Fawcett, I think will just be a trade. Again, like you guys said, victim of circumstance, wanting to get opportunity elsewhere. And I don't want to see him go, if I'm being honest, but I can understand it. I'm probably got his name there from his point of view, that if he wants game time, he probably deserves game time. It just might not happen at our club, which is a little bit disappointing for us and him, because I think he shows some good signs. But they're all things that could happen, and we have to also try and acquire some picks to probably pull off the Callaway father-son potentially. So that's where some of these trades might come into play as well, to pick up some of those players. Travis Cozzy not on the list because he's still contracted for next year, so he's not on this list.
That's why Cozzy and Ryan aren't on the list, guys. It's not that we don't want to put them there. It's there's reasons.
Australia's recovered after losing 2 wickets in 4 balls. We're now 2 for 37 in the World Test Championship. So we've got the 2 lightsaber wielders in Labuschagne and Smith batting. They're both not out currently.
All right, so they are the ones on the chopping block potentially for this year, and that's all just speculation and whatnot. But reality is 3 players are going to have to go in some way, shape, or form. And there was definitely more obvious choices, I think, last year than this year. I mean, the choices were probably still seemingly obvious this year, but there's arguments for some of them that you might not want to do it. Whereas last year, makes sense. Why someone like a Coulthard might be delisted, or Cumberland and whatnot. But it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. Do we think we're going to need to acquire extra picks for the Callaway father-son, or will he be bid on too far down the track that you don't need a pick? I reckon we'll need one.
Not my area of expertise.
This is where future picks will come into it as well. Like I reckon we'll trade our 2027 picks in the Tassie draft. I think we want to get out of that with the first rounds, obviously with an extremely diluted talent pool. We'll probably bring those picks forward, trade the future ones out, and bring in picks for the now. Get in the talent while it's uncompromised, or at least not as compromised, and then go that way.
Yeah, exactly right. Jack, haven't seen anything today. Was it something today that came out about Reed? What was said?
CB put something in our Twitter chat. Hang on, let me get it up. Let me open the. Let me open the report.
That's interesting because there's still a lot of talk about him.
Jake Niall. Harley
Yeah, what's he
Reed
gone with?
leaning towards staying with West Coast Eagles in 26 as contracted and not seeking trade to Vic clubs. Reed and West Coast have reasons to stick together for at least another year, as explained here. And then there's a link to an article.
So it's still not a definitive.
It's not definitive.
It's no different to what Tom Morris said last week.
Well,
Really.
it's no different to Daniel Rioli.
Yeah. It's still, and like I said, but we've done it too. It's still a bit of hedging bets.
Did you like that?
I did actually. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just a harmless cup of coffee. It's just a cup of coffee between two mates. What could go wrong?
So yeah, it's just still a little bit of hedging bets going on, and there's still quite a lot of noise about him exploring. I had heard something today that he's seen 3 or 4 offers from West Coast and not really liked the look of any of them, and was keen to still hold off to the end of the year, which is typically not a good sign. But there's still plenty to play out. He still may very well stay, but until it's locked in, hopefully we still keep having a crack and try and get over the line, EJ.
So I've opened up the article.
Yeah.
And I'll bullet point it. It basically said is said to be more likely to remain, according to rival clubs and industry sources who spoke to this masthead on Wednesday. He then goes on to say 2 paragraphs later, whilst he is more inclined to stay than leave, this is not a definitive position and it cannot be completely ruled out that he might seek a trade.
Oh, my God. Well, you know what? I'll say this. It doesn't matter what we think because everyone's going to Geelong. Everyone's going to Geelong. It doesn't matter what we think. Everyone's going to Geelong. We've got so many picks and so much money. They're loaded.
Apparently, between Stanley and Guthrie, that's $2 million of salary that they'll free up.
All right, well, we are here to reveal. We are here to reveal our 2026 round 1 best 22s, and this is on the proviso of having a fully fit and available list based on their current health. So, unfortunately, that means we had to take out Juddy Clark for those who had him in the side, which was Grock and I. I think you had him as well, EJ. There was one of us that didn't. It might have been CB. But yeah, so
I don't know.
We will bring up. I can't see whose team I've got here first. I think I've got Grox. We'll go with Grox teams first. Here we go. So this is Grox 2026 round 1 lineup. Take us through your lineup, Grox.
Yeah, I've gone. I think at this stage we're going to go youth. So for the back line, I've gone Gibcus, Miller, Tom Brown. I think Miller and Brown are entrenched, and Gibcus, when he's fit and firing, he's a lock in the best 22 or 23. They'll find a way to get him in. Banks, Bolter, and Floston. I think Banks, his last month of footy shows that he's now our preferred rebounding halfback. So he's locked that position. Trainer, Taranto, and Ralph Smith as our midfield line. Hugo and Trainer off the wings has been our preferred one over the last few weeks. So I think the Trainer experiment is going to continue. Our half forward line, we've got Seth Campbell, Jonty Fall, and Sammy Lawler. I think Lynch, coming towards the end of his career, is going to play deep out of the square, and Jonty is the one that's been pushing up the ground, which we've seen over the last few weeks. He's been an absolute workhorse, so I think that'll be our half forward line. I've got Jasper, Alga, Tom Lynch, and Harry Armstrong. I do think we'll play the three talls. I do have Sims on the bench as well, so for a fourth tall, but that's purely just to take over rough relief duties for Nank. I've got Nank, Hopper, and Harley Reed. I know this is purely speculative, but based on what I heard when I'd submitted this, that we were still in the race for Reed. This is just purely optimistic, and I'd love it. I can just imagine Sammy Lawler and Harley Reed rotating through the midfield and delivering balls into those tall forwards, hitting Jonty, Tom Lynch. They'll be licking their lips with those two. On the bench, I've got Smiley, I've got Kane McAuliffe, I've got Taj Houghton. Sims, as I mentioned, even though having him on the bench, people are like, why? He'll be the one that rotates with Nank, as I mentioned. I've got Thompson Dow, who's going to be the unlucky sub. I just think we know that Dow's an unknown quantity. We know Dow's a known quantity at our level. I think the other three are probably more impactful. Obviously, Smiling, McAuliffe, and Houghton.
So we've got who's missing? We've got no Shaw, no Prestia, no Broad,
No Ross.
no Ross.
No Broad.
Is this on the back
Broad,
of us going?
Yeah, I had a feeling because I did this on my way into work in an Uber and rushed it. I had a feeling I was missing someone, but no, Prestia. I think Prestia's gut feeling to me says Prestia probably pulls the pin with the youngs we've got coming through, with the young mids. Short, I don't think he's best 22 or 23 at this point. I think he's at the point now where his deficiencies are far too great for what he actually brings to the side. He's starting to panic a lot too much. His kicking's dropped off drastically. He's not very accountable. I think that we've got better defenders, and even Banks is better at rebounding at this point. The only way I could see Short being best 23 is if he plays in the forward half of the ground, which, looking at that forward line, I don't see who he replaces.
And Steely Green, another one of the small forwards who can't fight his way back in. It's probably a real problem for him this year as well in some ways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's Grox 22. We chucked the cheeky poll up on the YouTube to see what people thought of the 22. I'm waiting for the results to come through. People gave your side a B. So I've just done the old A, B, C, or D for the school grading. Everyone's gone with a B. No Mansell.
Yeah. No, Mansell, I think Jasper offers more than Mansell.
Mansell's still in the Uber.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Now, thank you, Grok. It's a bloody tough exercise, I tell you. Next one we've got is CB's team. CB, take us through your side.
All right. From the back line, Banks, Miller, Vloston, Brown, Bolter, Trainer. But obviously, Trainer may shoot up. Centre line of Hugo, Sam Lawler in the guts, and I've got Jaden Short on the wing. I just think Uze values those senior blokes, and I think he'll find a way to keep him in the team, and he may slide him up in a new role moving forward. Half forward line, Seth Campbell, Harry Armstrong, Jack Ross. Obviously, we know what Seth's bringing. We know what Armstrong can bring, and Jack Ross is playing some pretty good footy 70% of the time on a half forward line. Forward line, Mansell, Lynch, and I've got Lafau coming back. Followers, Nankervis, Taranto, Reed. Interchange of Hopper, Smiley, Broad, Houghton. And sub at this stage is Trezise, but that's obviously a spot that could change up. So I've gone for more experience. I've shifted Jaden Short out of position, but that could easily change up. I just don't have. I've pretty much got Lafau as my second ruck, to be honest. So just how I saw it.
So you'd have Lafau playing the second ruck ahead of Sims, and playing forward as well.
Yeah, correct. Just a bit more mobile, bit of size in the forward line, bit of aggression in there, and there's a bit of pace and skill as well around the big guy. So. It's all guesswork.
I'm guessing you're similar to Grok in the sense of Prestia not looking likely. And what about Josh Gibcus was another one that someone threw out as well?
Yeah, well, he could be your sub. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I've put Short in my team, whereas, others don't, which frees up that spot where you can put a Trainer up or what have you. But, look, I haven't seen Gibcus play footy for 2 years, so it's a bit hard to say what he'll do, to be honest. So I've sort of gone with some known quantities.
And was it Jonty Fall? So you're going Armstrong ahead of Fall, I guess. So you just like the look of Big Harry.
I think Harry's shown a bit more in his 4 or 5 games than Fall. Not saying Fall hasn't. I just think Harry's a better footballer, to be honest. He's a different style of footballer too. I'm
interested to see how physically much bigger he comes back as, given the amount of work he's done in the gym, whilst not being able to do the full running with the recovery. Grok or EJ, either of you got any questions or things to point out on this one as well?
Oh, look, no, we're all going to be different. We've got our opinions. I couldn't get Ross into the 23, but that's all right.
There's going to be some unlucky players.
Oh, I mean, I think from memory, I think mine's a pretty youthful side. So, no, they're all different.
Very
and it's
good
exciting
CB.
because we've got genuine depth. So,
yeah, exactly. And I was listening to the interview today on the club website with, I think it was Nankervis, Broad, and Taranto. And they were talking about the competition for spots and how good and how it makes a healthy culture, and something they didn't have last year because of all the players missing and things like that. So I think they're all buying into it and enjoying that aspect of it too.
Oh, so
CB,
the 2 points I have.
CB has just mortally wounded me.
No McAuliffe.
This comment?
There's no McAuliffe. There's no McAuliffe.
Yeah. Sorry.
I may never speak to you again.
Well, maybe right now. At the time I put this team in, remember, I did this team weeks ago. So he's probably the sub, isn't he? He's probably the guy you've got sitting on the bench, to be honest.
I'd probably
Smiley sub or however it works.
Of your team, I'd probably take Ross out for McAuliffe. I think that'd be the change that I'd make.
Fair point though on when you did the side. So you were given a B rating as well, CB. So both 2B so far. It's a
bullshit. You guys are discriminating.
The one other thing with that is with Lafau, as you mentioned, second ruck. I'm not sure if the club would do that just purely coming off an ACL.
Yeah, I know. It was all guesswork.
All right, and EJ, your round one side, fire away.
Yeah, I had Trainer down back. I like what's happening on the wing, but I'm not 100% sure it's going to be full time. So Trainer, Bolter, Vlosten, Broad, Gibcus, Brown, on the proviso that Gibcus comes back in the second half of this year. Ralph Smith, Harley Reed, Banks, Campbell, Armstrong, Jonty, Taj, Lynch, Lawler. I've gone the 3 tall option as well. Nank, Timmy and Hops, and then Sims, McAuliffe, Alga, Smiley, and then Mansell as the sub.
Yeah.
So I suppose the noticeable absentee from the back line is Ben Miller. You've got obviously Gibcus and Bolter outperforming him.
Yeah, and much like CB's thing, you do this a few weeks ago, and Miller's had the best month of football, and he's been unreal, and I don't have him in the side. So you could say that maybe Gibcus isn't going to be ready. You move Bolter to centre half back, and you put Miller at full back, and I would have no dramas with it at all. The idea that we had for this show was quite a few weeks ago, and we've all got those little quirks in the side. But I'm really, really excited to see. Look, and we know that Lawler's going to spend plenty of time on the ball, but I'd be really excited to see Seth, Taj, and Lawler as the smalls and the mediums in a working forward line for us. And that is why Mansell is a sub, because with what we have, what we think we have, I think is so exciting up forward.
And I would be actually keen to say, we may even see it this year, but the Armstrong and Jonty Fall combination up forward with Lynch, I think would be an interesting dynamic as well, just with how they both play.
Well, that's it. I mean, as I think, as someone else said, Lynch being that little bit older, and I think I've commented in the last couple of weeks, he's starting to look really slow. So he plays out the square. We know Jonty gets up the ground really, really well. And, I actually think Armstrong could be a really good centre half forward.
The Sims gone past Fall at the moment.
Gone past?
The Sims gone past Jonty.
Jonty's on the field, mate.
Yeah, they're playing different roles too, though.
Yeah, but Sims isn't in your... Oh, he's on the bench, sorry.
Yeah, he's got him on the bench.
Sims is the changing ruck.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lots of ways it can work, though. It's quite fascinating. EJ, you got given an A for your side. 51% gave you an A, 34% a B. Jeez.
The people know. Respect to the listeners.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, EJ's family's jumped on, have they? Fantastic.
He's on his alt accounts.
Yeah, all his old accounts. He's preloaded.
All right, and I'll bring up my side, and there's a controversial one in there, but I'm rolling with it anyway. I've got Nathan Broad, Noel Bolter, Nick Vlosten, Tom Brown, Ben Miller, Sam Banks. I do like having Sam Banks at halfback. I think he's locked and loaded. Hugo on the wing with Sam Lawler in the middle, Luke Traynor on the other wing. I know that some people aren't fully yet sold on him playing on a wing. I see it. I like it because he's an extremely high IQ player, and I've seen him do bits and pieces like that in the champs. I think it's going to be a good thing for the club moving forward. Half forward line, Seth Campbell. I've gone Josh Gibcus up forward, and this is probably the controversial point that I might get hit for, and Taj Houghton. So we obviously have I think we've got 8 key defenders, including Gibcus, and I just couldn't justify leaving Miller or Bolter out because I think they both complement each other so well. I'm like, well, how do I fit Gibcus in? And I've seen him play forward when he first come to the club, and it could be a pinch hit type role where he could swap around and do bits and pieces. Bit of a Hail Mary, probably won't happen in reality, but I wouldn't mind seeing it because I think he could actually offer us something there in the interim. Harry Armstrong, Tom Lynch, Ryan Mansell to round out the rest of the forward line. Ruck, Toby Nankervis, Taranto Hopper. I didn't go a Harley Reed, unfortunately. Jack Ross on the bench, Kane McAuliffe, Josh Smiley, Dion Prestia, and James Trezise. I included Prestia just because I think him being on the ground teaching a Lawler, a Smiley, a Houghton is going to be really invaluable. Will he be able to make it onto the ground? I don't know. Like, there's still a lot of question marks to be answered heading into the preseason and whatnot. But that's I almost had him as sub, to be honest. Almost had him as sub. But yeah, actually, Skudush, what have I done?
Yeah.
I'd probably swap Jack Ross for Elgar.
Yeah, that I looked at it. I was like, you've been the Elgar fanboy all year.
I know. And I've left him out.
And no Jonty.
No, I went Harry Armstrong ahead of him. I mean, Jonty could easily play where Gibcus is playing, I suppose, but I just want to see what Gibcus can offer us structurally up forward. But I wouldn't be totally disheartened if that was Jonty Fall either. But no, I would definitely change Ross for Elgar. That is a oversight and a bad one at that. No, I didn't go Harley Reid and Moen. I actually almost tried to take a punt on some of the draftees instead. I almost chucked in a Dyson Sharp, but again, like I saw him play, and I feel like he's too similar to the guys we've got. I just don't know whether we would actually pick him, to be honest. CB picked Lafau. Scooter, CB picked Lafau.
Who's your chop out ruck?
Chop out ruck would have to say this is where Miller could do it, or a Bolter could do it, and Gibcus can go and fill that role. It's not really. I don't like that how it works, and Sims probably would deserve to play, and potentially Sims could play instead of a Prestia if he's not right. So, but in this example, you would have to rely on a Miller or a Bolter to do it, and Gibcus then plays the defensive role. So, probably doesn't really sit well with a lot of people potentially, but I just thought it'd be a little bit random with some of the players in there. Lafau's the ultimate swingman, possibly. But yeah, that is the best 22 for round 1 2026. I got given an A as well. Look at that, EJ. We both passed.
Make me sick. You people make me sick.
All of you.
All of you.
And like we said, it's a really tough exercise, right? Like, I encourage everyone to have a crack at doing it, and we're gonna have a bit of a crack at the viewers creating a team now. So for those of you who are still in chat, the guys I'm gonna read out a position, and we'll start with Grok because you're on my top right. You'll pick someone in the audience who's typing away to pick a player for that spot. I'll enter it, and we'll put together a viewers round 1 best 22. Let me bring up my share screen there. And we'll try and keep it as realistic as possible, chat. Like, let's not put Butters, Reed, and a heap of other players in that we haven't got. You can do a Reed because we did, but Oh, Sam Frost. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Don't get me started on that one.
So lads, I'm going to call it a night. I've been up since just before 5 o'clock this morning. It's been a rather big day. So thank you so much. Good to see everybody again. I'm going to call it
Thank
quits.
you for your intro as well.
Yeah, look, don't say I don't give you anything, people. Don't say I don't give you anything.
It was a monumental occasion, that intro. And I appreciate you jumping in, CB. Thank you very much, mate.
All right, lads. Take care. See you,
mate. All right. So the first position we're going to be trying to find is a back pocket. And Grok, you can pick the first victim to give us a position.
Well, I've seen Hawk Tim posted twice of Loston. Like, I think, got to do it just for the commitment.
So we're going to go Nick Loston. Oh, I got the capitals. All right. EJ, you can pick someone in the chat to pick the fullback.
Well, Harry has asked me for my favourite Kinks album, which is almost an impossible task. I'm probably going to go with the Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society. So Harry, Grossman and Edie's can pick the fullback.
There you go, Harry. You're up to pick the fullback. And then while we're waiting for that, Grok can pick get someone to pick the other back pocket.
Your turn. You go.
I'll go. I'll go. Tiger Pop, you can pick the other back pocket. We're just waiting for Harry to send through his fullback, and then Tiger Pop, you can pick the other back pocket. There's players will be left out left, right, and centre. So Tiger Pop's gone broad for the back pocket.
And Harry's gone Bolter.
Harry's gone Noah Bolter. All right. Nathan Broad. All right, EJ, get us rolling. Or it's back to Grok. Back to Grok, get us rolling with a halfback.
Halfback, let's go yellow and black. And I think
Noah Bolter. EJ, pick someone for the centre half-back spot.
Jones Racing 82.
Jones Racing 82. You've got the centre half-back, and yellow and black, you've got the half-back. Let's see who gets in first.
So we've got Banks for halfback and Miller for centre halfback.
So we've got Sam Banks.
Works out well. I've got the left-hand side. EJ's got the middle, and Martha's got the right-hand side of it.
Ben 22. Miller. And I'll go Captain Blight. Give us another halfback. All right, Grok, up to the wing.
Wing. Let's go Jesse Callahan.
All right, Jesse's onto the wing. Captain Blight, I'm after a halfback from you. If you see it pop up, let us know. Oh, yeah, Luke Trainer's a good suggestion. Luke Trainer, jeez. He's going to be fascinating where he ends up playing for bulk of his career. All right, so we've got Tom Brown for the halfback role from Captain Blight. Tom Brown.
And Hugo for Jesse.
Hugo Ross Smith. All right, EJ, find us a centre person.
Has Vertex AU picked anyone yet?
Don't think so.
Right, so they can pick the centre.
Vertex, you've got the centre. Have we done?
Oh, I like it.
Nick Dacos.
Nick Dacos.
Vertex has gone Lawler in the guts. And Hoops, you can pick the other wing. Oh, any danger of me being able to type. What number is he? 22. Sam Lawler and Hoops can pick the other wing. Grok, get us rolling for a half forward.
Half forward, let's go Solar YT.
And then EJ can find a centre half forward.
Have we had Dave H yet?
No, I don't think so.
Dave H can pick the centre half forward.
If you see it pop up, let us know.
Yep.
And we'll go RFC centre. You can pick the other half forward.
He already
So
has.
Dave H. So it was Dave H centre half forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 4.
And Solar's got Seth Campbell as half forward.
All right, so we've got John T. Oops. Paul. Seth Campbell, was it?
Yeah.
And RFC said Taj has to be half forward.
I agree. What number's Taj? I've forgotten. Is he 20?
That's his name. Taj, I've forgotten.
Yeah. What number's Houghton? I've got drawn a complete blank.
Oh,
It's 24. I thought it was 24 as well. Yeah.
I'm just happy. I've just been given kudos from Harry for pronouncing the surname properly. That's what a banner day, because it didn't look very easy to me. I'd never seen that surname before, so happy with
there
that.
you go. So we've got Grok, find us a forward pocket, EJ a full forward, and Grumpy, you can pick the other forward pocket for me.
Yeah. Let's go skadoosh with Alga.
All right, so we'll go 29. EJ, who do you want to pick the full forward?
I'm trying to think. Has Hayden picked anyone yet?
No.
Well, Hayden gave us the jumper number, so he can pick the full forward.
So Hayden can pick the full forward. Grumpy, who have you gone there? LGE.
Elja.
Alga.
We've got him in one pocket. What about you pick another one for the other pocket? Who was doing the full forward?
Hayden.
Hayden Dupe.
Pressure's on. Whew. And then Grumpy to pick the other forward pocket. Aaron Cadman says Solar. Don't mind it. Armstrong. So Grumpy's gone for Harry Armstrong. And we're just waiting for the full forward. What's the
We've got the rock, but do we really need to ask?
I mean, we probably don't need to ask about the rock, if we're being honest. So we've got Harry Armstrong in the forward pocket. We're just waiting for the full forward. Toby and Curvis in the middle. Was it Hayden that was meant to be doing the full forward? Is he still around?
Yep, he's still here, Hayden.
The pressure's on Hayden to nail the full forward. All right, Grok, fine. Oh, Hayden's gone McKelty. Okay. All right, Grok and EJ, find the other two midfielders.
Let's go with Mortal Wombat.
Mortal Wombat, pick a midfielder. And EJ, who's another one that can pick a midfielder.
Oh. Has Grumpy picked anyone?
Yep, Grumpy picked one before.
All right. What about the Dragon's Cave?
No, he hasn't.
Right. The Dragon's Cave can pick a midfielder.
All right. Mortal Wombat.
Dragon's Cave has got Ruck Rover Taranto.
Okay, and the Mortal Wombat's gone, born to play at the G, Harley Reed. I'll leave the number as a question mark because we truly don't know what that's going to be. It may not be anything yet. And what was Ellen the Dragon had?
Timmy T. Isn't it?
Right, Taranto.
Yeah.
Oops, not 13. He's number 14. Tim Taranto. So, Josh Hunt, you can pick an interchange for me. And then Grok and EJ pick some interchanges as well.
Well, Andrew Denny can pick interchange because he's not liking the forward line. So maybe he can correct it with the bench.
Oh, there we go. So you can have a
Bit of rotation.
bit of rotation. I like it. Tries are wrong. There's no Hopper yet either.
And then Anthony Fox.
My boy isn't there yet either, just quietly.
No. So Andrew Denny's gone. McCall, if he's gone, your man.
There you go. Didn't have to wait long.
So we've got Kane. I didn't like that. Kane McAuliffe, Josh Hunt. So you've got McAuliffe as well. Pick another one. We just got McAuliffe popped in there. So grab another one. Who else was picking one? Who was picking one for you, Grok?
Anthony Fox, I think. Yeah.
Anthony Fox is picking one. EJ, pick another one.
Oh, what? David Rose.
David Rose. And Josh Hunt, I'll need you to pick a different play to McAuliffe because we just got him in there. Good, we're on the same page, though. Everyone's on the same
Anthony's
page.
gone Hopper.
Jacob Hopper. Henry Husway to sub. Jeez. David Rose.
Broad.
Don Nathan Broad. No, we've got Broady on the field. We've already got Broad on the field. Josh Hunt's gone Smiley. So Dave, pick another one. Geez, I thought Smiley was going to miss out there. So the last bench spot's coming down to David Rose here. And who do you want to pick the sub?
Ooh.
So we still need the last bench spot. David Rose, pressure. I know. Everything's riding on this. Jeez.
And it's an instant ban if anyone says Samson Ryan. Executive order.
Executive order. Who are we thinking for who can pick the sub?
Has anyone not picked a player yet? If you haven't, put one in the chat.
Put Sam's as the main ruck vertex. Jeez. David Rose. Or are you really going Samson Ryan? Or are you going Ryan Mansell? Which one? Samson Ryan or Ryan Mansell? Just need to clarify. Oh, Cody Walker's. Yeah, I like that, Scooter. That's a good shout.
Vertex is going to break his screen. Somebody pick Lynch.
All right, so David Rose has gone Dow.
Okay, Vertex, you've spammed it. We'll make Lynch sub. I think we'll
Lynch as the sub. Jesus. Oh my gosh, Tom Lynch is coming on as the super sub.
Yeah, geez.
There we go. So that is the viewers' side. So we've got Vlosten, Bolter, Broad. That's a good start. Banks, Miller, Brown, understandable. Hugo, Lawler, Trainer, happy with that as well. Seth, Jonty, and Taj, very happy with that. Jasper Elgar, McKelty, and Harry Armstrong. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, Lynch could be a little bit hard done by, but I don't mind it. Midfield, Nankervis, Harley Reed, Tim Taranto. We okay with that midfield?
Oh,
and then we've got.
If that happens, I'll be.
The Randy Marsh. It's the Randy Marsh.
The Randy Marsh gif. And then we've got Kane McAuliffe, Jacob Hopper, Josh Smiley, Thompson Dow on the bench. We've just gone full midfield heavy on the bench here. I love it. And Tom Lynch is the super sub. Going to bring on the old man, chuck him up forward.
But as a squad, that's easily fixed. Lynch out of the square, McKelty on the bench, and maybe Smiley is sub. and that looks.
Smiley is sub. Oh.
I think purely based on the other mids, he's the one that's probably got the worst tank.
Yeah, okay. But surely his tank's better by round 1 next year.
Over McAuliffe and Dow.
Well, true.
Well, that's if he hasn't played a game as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. No Mansell, no Short. I'll snip this and I'll post it up on the socials so you can all have a look at the side and we'll chuck it up there. But a fun little exercise. It's difficult to do. It's tricky to do. So make sure if you do get a chance in your own spare time, no Josh Gibcus, he got no love. Make sure you try and do a best 22 for round 1 yourselves, and feel free to tag us on Twitter with them because it's difficult to get it right. But before we jump off, we'll talk about the. I'll go.
You need to put that on socials and get them to grade that team.
Yeah. We'll chuck it up on a Twitter poll or something. We get people to grade that side. We'll see what it comes back with. The only other thing I want to talk about quickly is the fitness report that came out after the Monday night show with the exciting news about Taj Houghton, who is seemingly very, very close to making a VFL debut, which seems all but locked in for the Western Bulldogs game, which thankfully is a marble curtain raiser, EJ, with your hand up.
I listened to the Talking Tigers today, and Greeners has announced will make his debut.
As in VFL or AFL?
VFL, like he
I
is
was going to say, Jesus, that's a massive jump.
Raised.
But he is playing.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I interpreted the article from Serpil as well.
So Green is
shit-eating grin from Uze, who's just can't wait to get Taj Houghton out there.
Yeah, obviously Greeners has got long-standing contacts at the club, and he went with it on Talking Tigers. So very exciting.
Right. So, and I love the fact that it's a marble curtain raiser. I don't like the fact it's an away game, but we'll definitely, if we're not there, we'll definitely all be watching it. What's not wanting to add expectation to him, but what are you hoping to see out of someone who's playing their first game who might only play a half of football?
6 goals and mark of the year. 6
goals in the first quarter.
One, get through the game. Biggest thing. And I hope he does. That's the main thing. Like, no expectations. Don't put pressure on the kid. If he gets through the game, gets involved a couple of times, shows some class, it's about all you can do.
And what about the potential prospect? I floated this that by about round 18, so the Essendon game we've got coming up, there's genuine potential that 7 of the 8 draftees could all be playing AFL at that point in time. So that would be an assumption that Houghton's played a few games in VFL and is putting his hand up for selection. It would be an assumption on Smiley playing some games and putting his hand up, and Lawler coming back from the hamstring, and Alga being picked as well. But whilst it's far away, it doesn't seem that far-fetched, does it? Like, I feel like that could be a distinct possibility.
Yeah. I had all 8 in my starting round 1 lineup for next year, plus Reed. So I had all 8 in my lineup. It's interesting, and I think it just goes to show that we strongly believe that we nailed that draft, given that we are looking like we're comfortable trading 2 top 5 picks at this stage in a draft where the top 5 are pretty solid. I think that just shows how much faith we've got in it. And it was the same with the draft a few years ago where we got Gibcus and we got Brown and everything in that same draft as well. Like, it was like we backed in that draft. Juddy Clark was in that draft as well. So you can see that when we go big in drafts, we generally do have confidence with it. So I'm stoked. Yeah. Just beat Plugger's goal record in one game.
In one go, yeah. And I suppose the strength of the draft hand, EJ, is kind of
Vertex has gone with the barley exchange rate.
Yeah. The draft, the strength of the draft haul from last year, EJ, is a lot of, I suppose, the basis of the conversation around the potential Harley Reed trade, because you see a lot of supporters, and rightfully so, I can get it from both sides, not wanting to part way with 2 high-end picks. But then, like, I watched the champs. I'm like, they're okay players. They're not 2024 draft caliber players, but they're not bad. And I think when you're in a unique spot that you've been able to take 8 quality players in one hit, like usually when teams rebuild, it's 2 players over the course of 6-7 years, and you build up gradually. We've been able to do it in one foul swoop, which is unprecedented. And that's why I think we're maybe in a little bit of a different mindset to Groc's point.
Yeah. And as discussed, McAuliffe's come on, Banks has come on, Campbell's come on. So it's not just 8. It's looking like about half a side look okay. So you're not looking for anywhere near, and we think we've got the talls in Sims, Fall, Armstrong. So you're not looking for half a side. You're looking for specifics now, whereas it was a bit more of a broad brush. So
yeah. And that was my wondering as well, Groc, is typically speaking, when you go to the draft with a top 5 pick, let alone 2 top 5 picks, you're pretty much taking best available. But my mindset kind of shifted that we can pick and choose what we want to target with the players we already drafted.
Yeah, absolutely. You could tell we went in with a plan last year to refresh the list. We took obviously the key defender in Trainer. We took the tools in Armstrong and Fall. We took the hybrid forward ruckman in Sims. Plus we've got the clearance mid with Smiley, and we've got the creatives players in Elgar and Houghton, and you've got the most talented player in the draft in Sammy Lawler. Like we went in with a plan. Obviously, it's like take the best available player with your pick, especially in the top 5. Best player available, doesn't matter if it's a need or not. But I think with so many picks last year, we could do both. We could pick the best available at that position that we needed and not have to worry about missing out on anything, which is why we went Smiley over someone like Langford or Lindsay at pick 6, because he fit a bigger need for us than what the other 2 did. So yeah, we were really fortunate in that, and it set us up going forward. Now outside of maybe another ruckman, possibly, depending on where they see Sims and obviously the Hayes Brown project. Outside of that, we aren't really screaming for anything over the next 10 years now with the way the list is set up. You could maybe say we need a few more of the 23, 24-year-olds just as a bit of depth option. But outside of that, our list right now, is probably the best balanced it's been since I can remember in terms of
it's just
depth
a waiting game for them to develop and grow.
100%. Now it's just get the games into them, which is what we've done this year. Anyone besides Smiley, who was poised to make his debut before he went down. We won't say the word, but before he copped the niggle. It was just unfortunate that happened. So yeah, there's no doubt that we'll see all 8 on the park at some point.
And just on the ruck side of things, I can guarantee you we're not going to go down the St Kilda path of offering 1 point stupid for a tall. We've all seen what happened with Brodie Grundy, right? I don't always agree with some of these people, some of the experts and stuff, but I do agree with Grant Thomas in saying, look, having an A-grade ruckman is a good thing, but you don't need an A-grade ruckman. You need a competitor and someone that can halve a contest and be useful around the ground. You don't need, if you're lucky enough to have a great ruckman, fantastic, but get a good, serviceable ruckman. Let's be honest, Nank is a good, serviceable ruckman. He's very physical, more physical than most, but he's not a tap-out merchant. No. He's not amazingly athletic. He forces himself around the ground, but he's not uber athletic or anything. You don't need to spend stupid on that. If we can find, as a stopgap between Nankervis and between Sims being 23, 24, 25 years old, a good unused ruckman in another club, tick it off.
Yep. Like, You just need your ruckman to compete. As long as you've got a solid midfield around him, you can get away with, I mean, look at Geelong. They had Reece Stanley as a premiership ruckman. I mean, if they can have Reece Stanley as a ruckman, Sean Grigg, like, as long as you've got the players around to, to put pressure on and do the defensive stuff, you can get away with it. Like, Nanks was an undersized ruckman. We did pretty well with Marich, who wasn't a great tap ruckman, but his follow-up work was really, really good. Contest, like, it's all you need. You don't need. Not every ruckman needs to be Max Gawn.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And we've also got a few father-sons coming through as well with Louis Kellaway this year. Next year, Jack Leese and Archie Daffy. I actually got a video, some footage of Archie Daffy today from his APS game. Despite the quality of the video not being the greatest given the camera angle, but he looked pretty good. And he had another big game on the weekend for his local club, South Barwon. So he's starting to ramp up a little bit as well. So we're going to still have some talent coming through, I guess, even if we do trade out some picks and do bits and pieces. And I know, and Tanner Armstrong is the other one, NGA prospect for next year, already touted about a top 15, top 20 pick. So the club would obviously already know the type of talent we're still getting in as well. And then there's the Cody Walker piece that's still not set in stone that he's going to be a Blue. There's still life in that just yet, albeit unlikely, but it's still alive. It's still alive and kicking. So, yeah, plenty of talent coming in despite not having an uber amount of draft picks, which is good.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is a wrap, I think. A fun exercise to do. Again, everybody, thanks so much for your participation and picking the viewers team. I'll pop that up on the social so everyone can vote for it and clip you guys instead of everyone just clipping us all the time. But no, it's good fun. And I seriously encourage everyone to sit down and try and pick your genuine best 22 for round 1 2026. Tag us on the socials. A few people have done it already. It's really, really difficult to get done. So keen to see what you'll come up with. But thank you to everybody for playing along tonight. It was good fun. Grok, EJ, and thanks CB again as well. Thanks for jumping on. And well, folks, if you didn't see it, go back to the very start and watch the CB intro. Well, just a thing of beauty. or don't. But yeah, good. It's a good little way to get through bye week. So thank you again, everybody. And until next time, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.